Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man.
Cornbread! Cornbread! Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Drink it in, man. Drink it in, man.
Hey, it's Austin James. Yes, I'm living with diabetes, but it doesn't have to define me. Thanks to the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor, I get real-time glucose readings throughout the day. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor is small and easy to wear, giving me the freedom to focus on my life as a parent and a musician. Now this is progress. You can get a free sensor at freestylelibre.us.
Offer available for people who qualify. Visit myfreestyle.us to see all terms and conditions. Certain exclusions apply. Data on file. Abbott Diabetes Care. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
I just MailChimped my marketing.
You MailChimped your what?
I MailChimped my marketing with AI to create an effective marketing campaign in minutes.
No, MailChimp and Way.
Yes, MailChimp and Way. Now I can hyper-personalize my campaigns across email and SMS.
You can do all that with MailChimp.
What did I just MailChimp and say?
MailChimp your marketing with the #1 AI-powered email marketing and automation platform, Intuit MailChimp. #1 based on publicly available data on competitors' customers. Plans vary. SMS available as add-ons. Visit MailChimp.com.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
In this ad for the Mobile One brand, I have 30 seconds to talk about driving, which might be what you're doing right now. Maybe you're in the car, you're free, you're in control, on an open road with an open calendar. Your mind is wandering, and you're going with it. Or maybe you're stuck at work, in meetings, or emails, or worse, meetings about emails. And if that's the case, there's only one question. Why? Mobile One, for the love of driving. Visit loveofdriving.us/radio to learn more.
Detroit Koolaid drinkers. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Derek Ogre, right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. You guys know what it is, talking about those Detroit Lions here on the show. And I'm going to do something a little bit different here on this show, kind of change up the schedule, going solo once again. And I know the millions and millions, and most of you out there listen because of all the crazy gimmicks, nicknames, sound bites, rants, crazy things that we've kind of come up with on this show over time. Me, my co-host, at Chops in the D. But what I want to do today is I'm going to try to get through a very short, condensed show, still entertain you, still give takes, but I'm going to try my best to do no gimmicks, no sound bites today. And you're like, well, why would you do that? Everyone, that's kind of what you're known for. Everyone knows it's like, I just want to change it up, and I know there have always been people, too, that love when I just get on the mic and I'm just doing a 53-man roster eval or talking fantasy football or, doing our draft prep, whatever it is, and limiting some of that stuff. So I thought I'd just get on here, talk about our football team, talk about some hot topics, talk about the trade deadline. We're going to Green Bay to play the Packers, so there's plenty to talk about there. So let's just talk ball today. Might throw you guys a couple, change-ups, but I'm going to do my best to avoid the big gimmickatry, talk football, and still give you guys a great, short, good episode. So let's do this. We can't mess around. Let's get right into it. Unfortunately, the first thing I have to talk about on this episode is Jameson Williams. Now, this wasn't on my radar to talk about, pretty much because it just came across the Twitterverse and the news feed, and unfortunately the police blotter right before I hit the old red button to record. So I don't have all the details, but the basics that I've seen, read, rumor innuendo, is that I think it was about a week ago or so, Jameson Williams got pulled over for a traffic violation, had I think it was 2, registered guns under the passenger seat of the car where he was sitting. He was detained by the officer, said he was being arrested. Then I guess he was let go with no citation, no arrest, and now this has come back up and it's being re-looked into. So I don't know all the legalities. I don't know all of the do's and don'ts. I know there's lots of people out there that are gun owners, that other people that are highly against it. I guess what I would just say with, Jameson Williams is, like, I've continued to support him on this show. You guys heard my draft episode where when the Lions traded up, this was the guy that I wanted to take. Moments after, you kind of heard stuff. He didn't look very happy, wasn't very happy, and then everybody knew he was injured, and he comes in, and he gets the gambling, and then he gets hurt again, and then he makes a few plays and starts playing ball and does great interviews, and then he gets popped with a substance, PED, some type of substance, whatever it was. Again, not all those details. He missed another 2 games, and now this is coming up. So I guess I'm just getting to the point where it's hard to defend the guy when things continue to keep happening. And to me, I'm caught between the fun of Jameson Williams, the fact that I do think he's a great kid, and I use the word kid on purpose because you love his innocence, you love the fact that he's fun, that he's energetic, he smiles a lot, he laughs. But my whole thing since he's been in the league and since you get to know him better is, like, unfortunately, as funny as he is scoring 50-yard touchdowns and making some splash plays, he's definitely not that prototype WR1 professional, just polished player that you would hope with that type of draft pick and what you're trying to do with that type of addition to your team, and you've heard me come on before and say that's okay. He doesn't have to be that, he's not the prototypical guy, but you can be fun and laugh and be good-hearted and all your teammates love you, but you can't continue to have things happen time after time, week after week, and in the midst of these incidents and issues, yes, he's made big plays and he's impacted the team, but not to the level where, like other guys that are all pros, that are 1,400-yard, 12 touchdown guys, where you're willing to look past some things. They have track records. They are absolute cornerstones of your franchise. Like, Jameson Williams isn't that. So as these things continue to pile up and you continue to look at them and just go, man, you got to know better. Like, what are we doing? Why are we out at the Coney at 4 a.m? Why are we, why are we rolling through Detroit with 2 guns in our car? Like, people will say, oh, he needs protection and, this, that, and the other, and everyone has their right to care. But it's just things you don't do as a pro that's trying to set himself up to make hundreds of millions of dollars, or at least tens of millions, with his skill set and what he could do if none of this was going on. If he was just that fun kid with elite speed, made plays, growing into his role here, year 3, and we're finally starting to see some fruits of him on the field and consistently doing his thing and making plays. So what did I say a couple weeks ago? I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. I saw this. I'm kind of upset. I'm not going to rant rave because, like I said, I'm just talking ball and trying to talk this through with you guys. But I'm kind of upset because it's another thing. Now, what is it going to be? It's going to be weeks of probably like they're looking into it. Oh, the organization can't comment, and we'll let the legal process do its thing. And then you'll probably get another NFL is putting Jameson Williams on NFI, and he's on the commissioner's exempt, whatever they do nowadays when this type of stuff pops up and it's unclear. And we need this guy or a guy that's better than him to make the Super Bowl run that we're on right now. We're playing amazing football. So all I can say is that, the first thing with the injury, no big deal. Gambling suspension, it seemed to be very minor, very nitpicky, and that was just frustrating because everyone is, what does this guy have? What can he do now that he's quote unquote healthy and ready to go? Then he comes back, you see kind of what he can do. He's pretty much shown himself that on a good day he's a 4 to 6 touch player that could go for 120 and a touchdown or two, or could get you 2 catches for 12 yards and not find the end zone. That's pretty much what he's shown himself to be. Again, his teammates love him. People in the media say he's great to be around. I love hearing all that, and I'm sure all that is true on the surface level, but even your teammates can't continue to fight your battle for you if you continue to do this kind of stuff and say, oh, I didn't know, or, oh, let me go, I play for the Detroit Lions, or, oh, I wasn't aware of the policy, I didn't know what was in that prescription. It's just one thing after another. So I'm not quitting on the kid. I'm also like wanting him to step up and put all this behind him and say, I'm focused on football, my family. I can still laugh in the locker room. I can still have a lot of swag, but all this has to go away. And I think he'll be lucky to get through this without more games missed, more, negative spin on him, both locally and probably nationally. And he's going to have to overcome that again if and when he's able to get back on the football field. And I hope if and when he does, he can just go play ball, be fun in the locker room. And when he's at home, I'm not saying he's got to stay in the house 24/7, but I'm saying you're not, 14 anymore in your hometown. You're not 17, 18 just coming into that school we shall not speak of, or Alabama just balling and nobody's checking you otherwise. Like, you got to be a grown-up, a professional, and somebody that is going to earn his money by what you do on the football field and how you carry yourself off the field. I know he does charity events. I know he does youth camps. That's all great, but you can't do that and then get hit up with stuff like this or be around other people that are maybe creating these types of things for you, and then you're the fall guy. You're the guy that is getting the heat because of who you surround yourself with, when you're out and about, where you're out and about, and just having it happen. Once is okay, we get it, things happen. 2 is like, man, you got to know a little bit better than that. We got to tighten it up. And then 3, 4, 5, whatever he's on now is just sort of like, come on, man. Come on, J-Mo. Like, let's get it together and let's be a great member of Detroit, the Lions, and this football team that's absolutely rolling right now. So again, I barely saw it right before I hit record, so if I missed the details, if I'm a little off base, I apologize. That's my very initial football-esque, non-gimmick based take on Jameson Williams with arrest, not an arrest, gun charge, maybe not a gun charge. Like, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I was about to do my TBD gimmick, but I'm not. You guys know what it is, and we will see what happens. Stay tuned. We'll obviously have what happens and our unique takes, as we often do on this show, as things develop.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Future you faces some big expectations. Work out more, go to bed earlier, and most importantly, make smart money decisions. Thankfully, today you has Bank of America. One place with tools and guidance to help balance tasks from budgeting to saving. So you can just be you with big plans. Do more with a bank that asks, what would you like the power to do? Explore our tips and more at bankofamerica.com/futureyou.
Get softer, smoother, and more even-toned skin after just one use with the new Gentle Exfoliating line from Cetaphil. Formulated with a unique triple acid blend that promotes surface skin cell renewal, these gentle chemical exfoliators remove dead skin cells and refine skin's texture while hydrating, resulting in softer, smoother, more even-looking skin. Shop the new Cetaphil Gentle Exfoliating line in the face and body aisles at your local Target store or online at Cetaphil.com.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
This episode is brought to you by FedEx. FedEx knows running a small business is hard enough without the hassle of shipping. That's why there's FedEx One Rate. With FedEx One Rate, you can ship your holiday packages cheaper than the post office for as low as $14.50 for small boxes. Visit FedEx.com/OneRate for details. Exclusions apply. Valid through January 19th, 2025. FedEx One Rate. 2-day retail shipping, one flat rate.
Let me get into a better topic here, and that's the Lions over the Titans, 52-14. Yeah, you heard that right, 52-14 in a game that was 14-14 early in the second quarter. I mean, the Lions got touchdowns from Demo, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs with a 70-yard touchdown. I mean, Brock Wright found the end zone. St. Brown with a one catch for 7 yards but found a touchdown. You had Sam Laporta find the end zone, almost find the end zone, then find the end zone from a pass from David Montgomery, which was an absolutely incredible spiral, by the way. You've got Khalif Raymond dropping a 90-yard punt return to the house. I mean, you had Khalil Dorsey return a big kick. You had Khalif Raymond again with a little, motion reverse catch. Just walked in the end zone. I mean, my guy Jake Bates hitting 51-yard field goals. Very hard to do the show without doing gimmicks, I must say. Gimmicks will be back, trust me, in the next week or two or whenever we do them. But this is just a little bit of a different show. I gotta change it up on you guys every now and again. But when Jake Bates hit a 50-yard field goal late in the third quarter, I mean, that made it 52-14. I had a buddy tell me, man, Okri, we're probably gonna drop 60. And I was like, only 60? I mean, that's how I felt. This team was rolling so ridiculous in this game. Shout out Wagner. But, I mean, I told you last week that the Titans weren't good. I told you the Lions were going to roll them. I said it could be like 40-10. What was my prediction? Like 35-17, 31-17. Again, giving them too much credit. Yeah, we understand Mason Rudolph did a few things early in this football game. You have Kirby Joseph with another interception. Amik Robertson had like 2 punch-outs. I mean, I'm looking at some of the numbers right here. Like, yeah, Calvin Ridley had 10 for 143. Great. What else did anybody do? Tony Pollard, 20 rushes for 94 yards. Yes, you're going to get some stats. When we're scoring 52 points and you're throwing the ball and moving in, we don't care the whole game. I mean, there's like no receiving stats because Jared Goff threw 85 yards and had 3 touchdowns. He was in my fantasy lineup, by the way, and almost cost me, but I still got the victory in the end. Jahmyr Gibbs, who's wait for it. Oh wait, I can't do it. He's a very good football player. 11 carries, 127 and a touchdown, and that 70-yarder where he just got upfield and absolutely turned on the Jets and just housed it is stuff that we used to see from Javid Best, and we've been waiting to see since Burry was here, and you just love to see that running back combo plus Gibbs just do what he does, man. The way he turns the corner, the way he finishes runs, his ability to shake people, run you over, run by you is just absolutely I can't do it. It is special to say the least. So he had an incredible game, looks incredible with everything he does on the football field. Love seeing this for Khalif Raymond. I mean, what a great guy, what a great game. Almost broke the record for punt return yardage, I think it was. I want to say 17 yards short. He also was the first player, I believe, ever in NFL history to have a punt return of that, type and a receiving touchdown in the same game. National Tight Ends Day, we got Brock Wright and Laporte in the end zone. Saint finds the end zone. I mean, Gibbs, David Montgomery. It's just all your guys did their thing. And like I said, Jared Goff, 12 for 15, 85, and 3 touchdowns, basically. That's a crazy stat line. So, it put the Lions at 6-1, one game ahead of the Packers, who we'll get to here after the commercial break. Minnesota, again, coming off 2 losses, so they went from undefeated to 3rd in the division. And then you had the Chicago Bears lose at the buzzer. I was about to say sorry, Joey Sports Guy, our guy Joey Christopoulos, but he's loving his team. He loves his quarterback. He loves the upside. They're 4-3, which for where they're at in their rebuild and their franchise, that's actually better than expected. And they lost at the buzzer on a 70-yard Jaden Daniels Hail Mary that bounced off the Bears defenders and other people's hands right into the guy's lap and won the football game. Like, absolutely incredible. Not happy that it did cost me my PFF fantasy matchup where I went from 98% chance winning to 2% chance of winning just based on that play alone, basically. So that had me pretty fired up and upset. But overall, I'm doing good in the fantasy football world with my 80 million leagues. It's just impossible to win them all. And what do you think I focus on? The couple losses that I get every week rather than all the W's. So that is what it is. But again, back to the Lions. Lead the division, game up. They will play the Packers. This was an absolute beatdown of Titanic proportions. The Tennessee Titanic definitely sank in this game, 14 points. The Lions are putting up just ridiculous numbers offensively. They look unstoppable. They're everyone's best team in football, power rank number 1. I mean, absolutely incredible stuff from the Lions. I don't know if that counts as a gimmick or not, but I did it in the beginning of the show, so I gave you another one here. But I made it through this first segment with not doing all the fun, crazy gimmicks. It didn't feel right, to be honest, but again, life's getting a little bit crazy right now. It's fun to change it up where you guys are expecting the gimmicks, the sounds, of this, that, and I just give you straight up Okri on the mic. Hopefully the quality is where I want it to be. And just talking ball and talking you through this game. It was an incredible game, great dub, easy dub, easy win, and just it's very hard to score 52 points in the National Football League, especially when barely any of it comes passing. Got a good amount on the ground. A lot of it was special teams based and backups that you wouldn't expect to do what they did in this football game, but it was great to see. So everybody, let's take a pause, get our great sponsors in. Again, maybe keep this show around that 30-minute mark, a little bit more. Come back. I want to talk again about trades, trade deadline a week away, and then we'll do a little bit of this Packers preview, give you some things to think about, kind of what comes off the top of my head for that football game. Really looking forward to it. That should be a really fun one for a lot of reasons. 425, Tom Brady on the call at Lambeau. Weather should be good as it gets there in Wisconsin here in late October, early November-ish. So should be great two good teams, fun teams, lots of weapons, decent defenses. Like, it's going to be great. We'll get into it. But everybody, please listen to our sponsors. It really helps out the show. When we come back, we'll talk about the trade deadline. What is Brad Holmes doing? What is he not doing? What should he do? Everybody, we'll be right back.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
In this ad for the Mobile One brand, I have 30 seconds to talk about driving, which might be what you're doing right now. Maybe you're in the car, you're free, you're in control, on an open road with an open calendar. Your mind is wandering, and you're going with it. Or maybe you're stuck at work, in meetings, or emails, or worse, meetings about emails. And if that's the case, there's only one question. Why? Mobile One, for the love of driving. Visit loveofdriving.us/radio to learn more.
Feel your max with Brooks Running and the all-new Ghost Max 2. They're the shoes you deserve, designed to streamline your stride and help protect your body. Treat yourself to feel-good landings on an ultra-high stack of super comfy nitrogen-infused cushion that takes the edge off every step, every day. The Brooks Ghost Max 2. You know, technically, they're a form of self-care. Brooks, let's run there. Head to brooksrunning.com to learn more.
Behind the bright lights and adrenaline of pro sports is an equally exciting world of negotiations and deal-making.
That's what we cover each week on our podcast, The Deal.
I'm Alex Rodriguez, former baseball player turned business executive.
And I'm Jason Kelly, chief correspondent for Bloomberg Originals. Over the next couple months, we'll hear from all-stars like Jay Williams.
I want to be an owner one day.
Billie Jean King.
Learn the business.
And so many more. Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
Whether you're making a delicious family meal or a post-workout snack, choose the farm-fresh taste of Eggland's Best Eggs. Only Eggland's best hens are fed their proprietary all-vegetarian feed. That's what makes their eggs more nutritious. With 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 6 times more vitamin D compared to ordinary eggs. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs. Visit egglandsbest.com to learn more.
All right, everybody. This goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Kool-Aid drinkers are back from the break. Thank you so much for this unique show where I don't have the soundboards even pulled up. I've stayed away from basically all the classic gimmicks that we've created on this show over the past 5+ years we've been doing it. You guys know I try to come here every week, regardless of what else is going on or how I'm feeling, and give you Lions content, try to make you laugh a little bit, give you some unique takes and opinions, as well as just appreciate all those that have ever hit download, subscribe, shot me a message on the old Twitter machine where you guys can find me at Derek Okrie, DEREK OKRIE, or the Koolaid hotline, which is 989-272-3484. You can call that up, you can text, you can leave a voicemail, and just love all those different interactions from everybody, so it's incredible. So hopefully you're enjoying this little bit of a different show here where I'm just going straight ball, straight talking to you. And we'll get back to all the hilarity as well as just more Lions victories in football in the weeks to come. So when it comes to the trade deadline, which is next Tuesday, some of you guys might have that date circled, November 5th. A lot going on that day. Let's just put it that way. But, there's been just all this lead up about the Lions are basically in all this trade, rumor, innuendo, talk, articles. And it's always funny to me how they kind of just sit there, because I know I'm not a GM. I know that there's a lot that goes into it that we'll never know. But I know, you guys hear the plug every week, realitysportsonline.com. That's as close as you'll get to being an NFL general manager. Have you heard that in my ad read that we've been doing for the last 3, 4, however many years now here on the show? Well, it's absolutely true. That's kind of as close as you get, and there are contracts involved, picks, players, and what's funny is you do see, like, everyone has their own strategy. Some teams are just looking to offload salaries. Some people are looking to bring on the top talents. Some people will pay anything for a good player. Other guys will pay nothing for a good player. Some people just want picks. That's all that's going to build their team, or draft picks. And I feel like that's the same in the National Football League, is all these GMs are different. What they want is different. How they value players is different. But what's crazy is they all kind of wait till the last second. I get it that a lot of people say, well, deadlines make deals. Agree, like, you wait till the very end and then nobody can hold you up. Well, the other thing is true too. You wait till the very end and you thought you had a deal, and somebody's like, hey, let's make that pick around higher, and you got a deal. And you got no time to counter because you waited till the last second. So I'm hopeful, and I know they're doing their homework, but I always think an earlier move is a bit better than waiting till the last moment, or trying to hold somebody over a barrel, or trying to get the absolute best deal possible. I mean, let's go to even your office fantasy league. You ever been in a league and kind of had a deal done with somebody and just thought, I'm going to think about it a little bit more. I'll get with you tomorrow, or, we'll wait and see. And then that person either, turns up I thought about it and now I want another player, or I know you said to get back to me, but another team swooped in and they gave me a better, so I just took that. I mean, it happens. I'm a big eBay guy. Like, you ever sit around and wait on something on eBay thinking you can get it tomorrow, or let me think it over, and boom, it's gone. Obviously that happens in a lot of areas of our life, but I think Brad Holmes, yes, he's done tremendous with most everything he's touched. We all know he has had misses both in the draft and free agency and with other signings, but he has so many just great things happening that we overlook it. We also just give him a pass, which we should. But I think this is going to be big for Brad Holmes, because he's continued to just, nope, I'm just going to get depth player. I'm going to go with our guys, and it's going to be okay. And we've continued to get better. We've continued to win more games, but we've come up short. The second season, we came up short in the NFC Championship, and now we're here in year 4 of this regime's rebuild, whatever it is. And this team, like I just said before the break, number one in the power rankings. Everyone loves the Lions. Everyone is excited to watch the Lions because we're so fun to watch. Everyone thinks that we can make a run through the NFC and get to the Super Bowl and win it. So part of me likes to do, or is coaxed into doing, what you hear on radio and with everyone else, that he's just going to do a couple very underwhelming moves and you need to trust him because of what he's done, and we'll hope for the best. The other part of me continues to say that he knows the time is now. And here's my asterisk. Here's my caveat to that. I may or may not have said this on a previous episode. Regardless of what he does, to me there has to be something in your head that you know at best Aiden Hutchinson is not going to be back this season, or might not be back if we're lucky enough to make the Super Bowl. Maybe he can be back and play in that game, but at what level? And as excited as I am about this team, unless they add an Aiden Hutchinson type talent, I've got serious questions if they can make the type of run they want to make without replacing that at an even level. And don't give me this, we'll get two guys from the, bargain bin. We'll get some guy you never heard of who's going to play as good as No, you won't. So, to me, the only two guys that fit that bill are the Trey Hendricksons of the world, and I don't think Zadarius Smith is Aiden Hutchinson quality. He was real good 4 years ago. He was decent, 2 years ago. Now I don't have the quote. I almost want to try to find it because I want to say they played Green Bay when he was with Green Bay, and Dan Campbell, maybe he was with Minnesota at that point. I can't remember. But Dan Campbell, I swear, in a press conference just went on and on about Zadarius Smith, how much he loved him and how much of a beast he was and how they had to put all this attention to him and this, that, and the other. And to me, sometimes that's where he kind of butters up everybody. Oh, the Titans are a great franchise. We really got to be on our... He knew we were way better than Titans, and they went out and proved that. But when he was talking about Zadarius Smith in this clip that again, it's a while back, but it just sticks out for whatever reason. He just seemed to really love his physicality, his size, his production, his veteran, ability. Zadarius Smith has said he'd like to come back to this division and kind of wreck shop on the Vikings, especially the Packers. So I feel like that's the low-end move. To me, Trey Hendrickson's the better move because he's a Hutch type, kind of a big physical end, lots of production, knows Campbell, AG, our coaching staff, probably knows the scheme. Cincinnati has continued to lose. What did Joe Burrow say? We can 7 out of 9 games to get in the playoffs. That's doable. No, no, that Bengals team is not set up this year based on where they're at, where that football team is to make any kind of run. Now, next year they add a few pieces and they get healthy and add some nice additions. Yeah, anytime you have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and other players, you definitely have a chance to make a run, but not right now. So if they believe that and they want to just wait till next year and give it another run, they could do that. But a guy like Trey Hendrickson, too, is a guy that said already, please trade me or I want out. So this isn't a guy that's all bought in for the city, the franchise. He wants to go win. And the best case scenario is get traded to the Detroit Lions, go throw on I'm trying to think what numbers would be open. Is 98? No, 98's DJ Reader. There's got to be a sweet number for him to throw on and just go do what he does. Get after the quarterback, play tough in the run, be a great teammate. I feel like if you could get him for a nice value, which here's the other thing I want to say about the trade deadline. You continue to see these ridiculous deals. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins is a rental for a fifth. Right before I hit record, Deontay Johnson down there with Carolina to Baltimore for a fifth. Not even a fifth. They gave up a 5th, and they get Carolina's 6th. What's that if Baltimore makes a deep run? That's going to be the swap of 6 selections or something stupid when Carolina's up at the top and Baltimore's picking in 28 through 32. I mean, you basically traded 8 draft slots for a guy that's going to come in, throw your jersey on, and be a great offensive weapon for that team. And then you've seen these other ridiculous deals going on. Like, nobody goes for anything that I feel like is value in the NFL. It's always what are you even getting out of that type of pick swap? The only thing I could think of is that Carolina just saw what they saw and was like, hey, we feel like this guy is worth moving because he probably makes 10-something million they probably gave him. They get out from under that contract. They take a draft pick and they use that money for a younger player they can mold, I guess. I don't understand. So when you hear these ridiculous radio hosts going, would you give up 2 first-rounders for trade? That's not going to be the price for him. Oh, do you want to give up a 3rd or a 4th for Zadarius Smith? That's not going to be what you have to pay for Zadarius Smith. The way these prices are going, Zadarius Smith might go for a 6th round or a swap of some sort, and Trey Hendrickson, you're probably getting him for a 5th 2 years from now is what it feels like, to be honest. I mean, and even if Brad Holmes overpays to get a Trent Hendrickson talent, I'm totally cool with it because, again, he fits, he knows the people, he's a heavy. The thing I don't want are these people that are asking for the guy from the Titans who's a smaller edge type player, Landry, or these guys that are just wimpy speed small rushers. That doesn't replace Hutch unless he's a very special talent that Brad Holmes thinks can just bend the edge and get production from a sack perspective. They're not going to put somebody in there that's going to get bullied in the run game, isn't going to be tough, and will probably be hurt by his 3rd game with the Lions. They want that tough physical edge that can set, that can bull rush and get after the quarterback. And like I say, a guy that you get in here and just slap a jersey on, hey, remember all the stuff we used to ran down there in New Orleans and this, that, and the other? We're doing that plus these changes. All right, let's go to work. So I'm really hoping for Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati. If he goes players I've never heard of or people that we just hope are going to be good, I'm going to be disappointed. If he overpays for someone, if they're a talent that I think can help us right away and replace Hutch, be somewhat equal to, I'll be happy. If they overpay and it's a player that I know is nowhere close to what Hutchinson can do and isn't going to fill that hole in that role, yeah, I'll be upset again. But I'm rolling with this team this year, enjoying the ride, expecting a lot, but also saying, can I see us going down Woodward with the Lombardi Trophy with Hutch on a float with his leg up in a sling and everybody that we put in just balled out and he was nowhere to be found and we still won the Super Bowl? I mean, that's a little bit of a challenge for me unless the guy they get in the next week is that type of guy where it's like, hey, not only did we get Trey Hendrickson, but now we re-signed him for 3 years. Hutch will be back next year. And oh, by the way, we still make a run in the playoffs because everyone's got all roads go through Detroit. And we end up winning the North, winning the NFC, winning every home playoff game, going to the Super Bowl, and then winning the Super Bowl with Hutch on a float with his leg up. And then next year we go to defend because Hutch is back and Hendrickson on the other side. And oh, by the way, another draft class. And oh, by the way, all our young studs are under contract, raring to go. That's best case scenario for me. So let's get this Packers preview in. Again, I'm probably going to rub up past my 30-minute mark if I'm not careful. But to me, the Packer game is very big. It sounds like Jordan Love is going to play. They have a lot of receivers, a good tight end. I've always liked Josh Jacobs. He's having a pretty nice year. So their offense is pretty solid. Again, I couldn't name you many of their offensive linemen, but they seem to be a solid group. You go on defense. McKinney I've always loved. He's been a real ball hawk, kind of like Kerbo is. And yeah, they just have guys at each level that can make plays. But this feels like it could be a crazy shootout. You know, if Love is healthy and all his guys are ready to go, I could see this game being high scoring on both teams, but also both defenses, like getting their hands on some interceptions, getting some fumbles out, maybe flipping fields. You know, Jack Fox is booming 60-yard kicks. So I feel like this could be entertaining from top to bottom. I think it's so big because of the standings. Like, you are on the road, which I think we're taking a little bit for granted because we absolutely embarrassed the Cowboys. You know, we've taken care of business on the road. We only have that one home loss against Tampa Bay. Went to Minnesota and won. You know, come back and just embarrass the Titans. So I think people are just riding high right now. But yeah, you go to Lambeau, you play a good football team. It's for, if the Lions win this, 2 games basically in hand, because you beat Minnesota, you beat Green Bay on the division, that would give you a very nice buffer zone. If you don't, then it's just going to be all clumped up between those teams, which is fine too, you know. But I think we've had some good recent luck at Lambeau. We hope the best for the referees and what goes down there, but I would love to see an absolute shootout. I'm thinking, you know, this game, again, could come down to the wire. The Lions have been scoring in buckets, but I'm thinking this one's going to be like a, 33-31 type game. 2-point spread, maybe a late field goal, make or miss. Maybe it's Green Bay with that field goal. Maybe it's the Lions. Maybe the Lions are up and they sit on the football with a 2-point lead, never give the ball back to the Packers. I don't know exactly how this is going down, but I can't wait to watch it. I hope you guys are real excited because, like I say, it's going to be in the primetime window at 4:25. We're 6-1. We are riding high, but you have to come into this type of game ready to go, buckled up on defense. You're going to let Jared Goff, the running backs, and the wideouts do their thing and see what happens. I think it's very winnable, but anytime there's an even Steven game, but it's in the other person's house, I do seem to lean towards the home team in the NFL if I have my choice. But I want this game so badly because it gives you that lead in the division. It continues to make you the top team in the NFC, and that's our goal. You could beat Green Bay, then make a trade a day or two later, and then play our team in Houston that's hurt and play a tough schedule, but really have a football team down the home stretch that you believe in that can run away with the number 1 seed in the NFC North title again. That would be tremendous. That'd be best case scenario, because I'm here to tell you now, and I've said it before, if the Lions are the number 1 seed, if the Lions win the NFC North and every playoff game has to be in Ford Field, book your tickets to the Super Bowl the minute that happens, because we will not lose. We will not lose at Ford Field with that crazy crowd, with this football team, and the type of talent we have at every single level. Offensive line, quarterback, running backs, wide receivers, D-line, linebackers, corners, safeties. Nope, not going to happen. That team's not going to lose, especially once they make this nice addition here in the less than a week, probably a few days. Maybe when I stop hitting record, they've already made a trade. I don't know. I don't have my phone up. So that's my show, everybody. I had no notes. I had 4 topics. I tried to keep it somewhat tight. I lived up to my promise. I played no sound bits. I did very limited, if any, Detroit Koolaid Cast gimmicks. I talked football. I talked about JMO. I reviewed a 52-14 Titanic beatdown of the Titans. I gave you trade takes, opinions, and things to think about. And I gave you a brief Packers preview, probably the biggest football game to date, maybe the biggest game in the last couple years for this team, with what's on the line, what the weather should be like, who's on the call, what time it's on TV, how hyped everybody is about the Lions here in Detroit. So everybody enjoy it, get hyped about this team, and let's keep this thing rolling. That's what I got. I'll catch you next time right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. I'm out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over.
Get in.